Hey there, folks! So, today marks the streaming release of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix. And I have to say, as someone who's been obsessed with classic horror and del Toro's magical touch since Pan's Labyrinth blew my mind back in the day, this feels like a dream come true. He's been talking about adapting Mary Shelley's 1818 novel for over a decade, calling it his personal Mount Everest. And from what I've gathered, it's a lavish, emotional take on the tale of a brilliant scientist and his creation. Think Gothic drama meets sci-fi heart, with themes of isolation, hubris, and what it means to be human, or monstrous. I love how del Toro always infuses his films with this deep empathy for the outsiders, and here, it's all about finding humanity in the shadows. The movie stars Oscar Isaac as Dr. Victor Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi transforming into the creature, Mia Goth in a key role, and folks like Christoph Waltz, Charles Dance, and David Bradley rounding out the cast. It's got a runtime of about 2 hours and 29 minutes, perfect for a cozy night in, and the score by Alexandre Desplat is this haunting, lyrical thing that sticks with you. Let's talk about those Easter eggs and references first. They're everywhere, and it's clear del Toro poured his soul into layering this film with nods to the source material, classic adaptations, and even broader literary and mythic influences. One standout is the heavy biblical symbolism, like a creation device shaped like a cross with metal shards around it that evoke a halo or crown of thorns, tying into themes of sacrifice and divinity. There's a line echoing Jesus' words from the Bible, "It is finished," which adds this profound religious undercurrent without overdoing it. Del Toro draws from John Milton's Paradise Lost, comparing the creature to both Adam and Satan, exploring creation, fall from grace, and rebellion. Greek mythology pops up too, with Victor as a modern Prometheus stealing fire from the gods, and references to Medusa and Roman gods scattered in dialogue and visuals. Fans of the classic films will spot homages to the 1931 Boris Karloff version, like a subtle scene with a little girl named Anna Maria picking white flowers by a bank. It's a sweet callback without copying outright. There's also a nod to Bride of Frankenstein in some costume designs, with winding layers and high-neck silhouettes that evoke Elsa Lanchester's iconic look. Poetry lovers will geek out over the creature engaging with Ozymandias by Percy Shelley, Mary's husband, highlighting impermanence and hubris, and there's an epigraph from Lord Byron's work that sets a tone of heartbreak and resilience. Byron's influence is all over Victor's character too, with outfits featuring pops of red, and even a prosthetic element echoing the poet's real-life leg issues. Oh, and del Toro sneaks in references to his own films, like echoes of the ghostly imagery in Crimson Peak with a burning angel motif, or thematic ties to the devil's backbone and how it handles trauma and the supernatural. Now, onto the hidden details, which are what make rewatching this a joy. Del Toro is a master of symbolism, and the color palette is genius. Red often signals death or blood, like Victor's bright red gloves that scream blood on his hands in key moments, or accents close to the heart representing lost loved ones. Blue pops up for themes of wealth, loyalty, and rebirth. Think uniforms or lighting that hint at new beginnings. Green is all about nature and freedom, tied to certain characters' outfits and scenes in lush settings. Black conveys cruelty, especially in paternal figures, while white and ivory stand for purity, divinity, and blank slates, like marble-like skin or snowy landscapes that evoke innocence and desolation. There's even a recurring milk-drinking habit that's autobiographical for del Toro. He loves the stuff and uses it here as a metaphor for something deeper, like an analog to blood or stunted growth. Other cool subtleties include the creature's design, inspired by Bernie Wrightson's illustrations from the novel, with translucent, scarred skin that looks obscenely alive, and draws from 16th century statues like St. Bartholomew's flayed figure. No classic stitches here, it's more fused and artistic. Practical effects dominate, with Elordi under layers of prosthetics that took hours to apply, and his performance draws from Butoh dance and animal studies for that raw, vulnerable movement. There's a mirrored shot at the end that's flipped on purpose, making you reflect on yourself as the viewer. And don't miss the anatomical models or engraved canes hiding little secrets, like concealed mercury symbolizing hidden vices. Even small things like a red ball toss or glowing red generators foreshadow themes of rise, fall, and inevitable doom. Biblical recaps of Genesis, Exodus, and Job weave in suffering and exile, and there's a son-son pun that plays on father-child dynamics beautifully. Behind the scenes, this was a passion project filmed mostly in Toronto, with some reshoots in the UK using full 360-degree physical sets, no green screens, for that immersive feel. The budget was around $120 million, and it shows in the stunning production design. Baroque caskets, extravagant labs with steam engines, and costumes featuring Tiffany jewelry. Del Toro's notebooks are filled with Da Vinci-like sketches, and the cast prepped intensely. Isaac channeled rock stars like David Bowie for Victor's swagger, while Elordi studied throat singing and endured grueling makeup sessions. There were challenges like SAG-AFTRA strike, causing cast changes. Andrew Garfield was originally the creature. But it all came together as this Gothic opera soaked in sadness, snow, and visual poetry. Rain-flooded cathedrals, blood on cobblestones, and those blood-red skies with green shadows. Is it worth watching? Absolutely, in my opinion. Critics are loving it with an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, praising the lavish epic and Elordi's standout performance that finds real humanity in the icon. Audiences are even higher at 95%, calling it gloriously Gothic and heartbreaking. It's not your jump scare horror, more a tragic drama with gruesome edges. But if you dig thoughtful storytelling, stunning visuals, and Del Toro's signature blend of beauty and the macabre, this is a must-see. Some say it drags a bit or slips into sentimentality, but the emotional depth and artistry make up for it. Grab some popcorn, dim the lights, and let it pull you in. I think it'll linger with you long after the credits roll.